a clarity coach who is going to give us today's, you know, क्या कहना चाहिए knowledge की एक मार हमें आज देंगे वो. Yes, Amit ji, please, all over to you.
Yes. Okay. Good. Good morning, everyone. And today's knowledge session, there are three things I'll be covering. One is kind of a success story and a case study, which I'll be sharing, which will give you a clarity of how in H2H, by the way, Sheetal, is like one-to-one that we have with the eGrowth members. So how in H2H can lead to a business opportunity through collaboration. I'll share that story with you. And second thing is an update. I'll be sharing what will happen in the next knowledge session. Very interesting one for many of you to be very interesting to hear about. And third is we'll do this action of fixing up the H2H for the next week. So that action part would also happen in the last 5 minutes. So first thing first is about the case study and the success story. Rajesh, I'm taking your permission to share that because that's between two of us.
Yeah.
So this is about H2H that I had with Rajesh. This success story is between me and Rajesh to give you clarity on that. And I'll just tell some of the interactions which happened and what was the result so that you can also gain something out of it and use it also effectively. So I had one H2H with Rajesh probably beginning February over a Zoom call. And, more of an introduction that happens like somebody was saying maybe with James wants to have a session with somebody. So like that I had with Rajesh, and there was a bit of kuch equation to lagi. It's good. Like how we can collaborate, we had no clue whatsoever. So then I invited him to my office, Clarity Hive. So that was second interaction. He came to office. We sat over coffee, invited Atul also. He also joined in, made a video also, and all that happened. But the second interaction, the main thing what came out was we exchanged two referrals. One I gave and one he gave to me. And so it happens normally through referrals, and then I have to see what happens next. But the way the referrals were given, and that's very important part to note, is I shared with him a one pager of my profile, which I shared, which he shared with his connect. That guy's name is Arun. I already mentioned in my introduction also. So he shared my one-page introduction with Arun and asked Arun to meet me. And I shared Rajesh that great session, presentation with my referral, whose name is again Amit. His name is Amit Roy. I said, connect with him for his branding and the website development. So that was the result of the second interaction that I had. Then third interaction I had was I invited Arun to come to my office for a strategy session, which happened. And end of the session, he liked what I was doing, and he said, "Yeah, making sense. We should engage." But after that, that's when the things started, moving in an interesting manner. See, Arun, was referred by Rajesh, is a mentee of Rajesh. I think he's been following Rajesh for ages. And he also wanted Rajesh to help him in his business. His business is into air conditioning, HVAC designing and installation in Delhi. And so after the third interaction, this was a bit not clear. How would this guy, Arun, work with Rajesh and Amit, right? Because we are like, could be a competitors, so to say, it may look like. So then I had the fourth interaction to get clarity of if he wants to engage with Rajesh or me or both, then what will be the scope? What will be the scope? And it was only a 20-minute call. Remember, Rajesh, over the phone, we had a short call because I knew in his mind, कि मैं किसके पास जाऊं? राजेश भी बोल रहे हैं, वो भी कर देंगे help. अमित भी बोल रहे हैं, मैं किसके पास जाऊं? So in that 20-minute call, it became clear that he wants to grow his business. It's about a 20-25 year business to grow further. But to grow his business, he wants personal development, that he has to grow as an individual, as the owner, he has to grow. And second is he has to grow his team also, right? And which means hardcore technical skill as such. And so we decided that we'll scope it differently. We'll say Amit will work with Arun on personal development, right? And Rajesh will focus on the team development. And he said, yes, that makes perfect sense. And we decided that time that, okay, how long the engagement will be, because he said, Rajesh, I need Rajesh for lifetime. Okay. But with me, he said, I don't know you, so we'll start with 3 months. But we made sure that there was a understanding between me, Rajesh, and Arun, how this will work. So we agreed on that. And that was the fourth interaction. And the fifth interaction I had with Arun was yesterday over a discovery session where we decided the scope, which I'll be working on, which starts from next week. And Rajesh starts with his team and him in beginning April, right? So that was a case study which is started with an H2H, led to collaboration, and then leading to business opportunities getting closed. The message I wanted to pass over here is it's possible in our case, because we are all very experienced people. When we give a referral, it's quite possible that uh, there could be a collaboration between each of us. Because, for example, what I do, Virinder can also do. What I do, probably Atul also can do. But if we collaborate with the client and we define the scope, it is possible to make move ahead with it. So that's happened. That was a case which happened with me. The other way it happened with Rajesh, it's still in play. I connected Rajesh with Amit Roy. Rajesh wanted something on branding and website development. And I knew Amit Roy is also my client, so I've been coaching him. So मेरे को पता है उसको वो कैसे काम करता है, right? So I knew he has to meet face to face with Rajesh. So I said, Rajesh, Amit Roy, you meet and meet over a coffee. And I invited them to come to Clarity Hive into my office and have the meeting. And they had the meeting over a coffee for 2 hours or so when I was not even there. Okay, I was not in the office. I was in Hyderabad, but they came to office and they had the coffee, and probably Amit Roy will be sending proposal to him going forward. So I just wanted to share this kind of a success story and case study where how a simple H2H over a coffee can lead to a business opportunity being closed, which helps the client grow exponentially, right? And the similar thing I'm trying to do with Sukhdeepak. There is a lot of collaboration we can work on. With Rekha, who's not there, I'm already working with Prakash because I'm same client. I'm also working, and Rekha's partner Prakash is also working. So there is a possibility of collaboration which there. Atul also, they gave me 2-3 referrals earlier, and I said he gave me a referral to somebody in Canada, his friend, and they said, Atul, both of us can work together because he needs both of us. And he said, Amit, this guy in Canada will not be able to work with him because he's a very close friend. तो मेरे से coaching नहीं लेगा because वो friend है. So it could happen, but still there is a possibility of collaboration which may come up, right? So this is one case which I wanted to share. Rajesh, anything you want to add here?
Yeah, I know collaboration is actually the buzzword. Mm-hmm. Even with Arun, when we are starting in April, I could have done most of the technical training myself. But I'm bringing in Prabhat Goyal, who's one of the experts on my platform. So, we've said 1 day a week.
Yeah.
So I said, Prabhat is going to be, coming 1 day a week. The rest 3 weeks, maybe I'm going to come. I'm even thinking of, it was last night in my dreams, I was thinking about it, that I'm going to get my wife onto the platform also because she's a wellness coach.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask her to come in one day of 1 week in there. So I'll give her an opportunity also to present herself and support. Yeah. So it's about collaboration. That one is you grab everything yourself, and two, take more people along.
Yeah, and that's what seems to be the case. And because the intent is actually to help a client grow. Right? And to grow the client, there are multiple things between us also. 60, 70 people, we can help that client actually grow with different things that we can offer collaboratively, right? Correct. So that's something I wanted to share today, a success story of how an H2H can lead to collaboration and a business getting closed. Okay, so that's the one part I want to cover. Second information I want to share is update. Atul, if I can share that for next week. Yeah. So like Sheetal, by the way, you were talking about networking, and this knowledge session that we have been having is about networking for last talking for 3 months since we started off as such. And we've been talking about the ask and how to ask and how to connect and all that happens. So next week, 15 minutes knowledge session will be taken by the India's #1 strategic networking coach, Paritosh Pathak. So he's being invited to come and give a knowledge session for 15 minutes. And he'll talk to us. I don't know what that would be, but definitely it's some high level networking, because I have learned networking from him. And I think Mitlesh is part of his team, and many others I know have done his program, and he's coming with a new program, NRPN. So yeah, Mitlesh, you are in MNP, I think 15, 16. I would say 11, MNP 11. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to hear him out on the eGrowth platform, and he'll give some tips to us. And also, he'll be talking about his next program, which is NRPN, New Rules of Professional Networking in April. No, those who have not gone there, attended, please do that. It's a virtual program. In fact, if you go to the site, my testimonial, video testimonial is on his website as well. So, and Atul has a deal, I think, right, Atul? You have a deal cracked with
for eGrowth members. Yeah.
Yes.
For eGrowth members. And he came to my office also earlier this beginning March, and we had a good 2-3 hours session. So that's the update I wanted to share. Next week, be there. Don't miss the knowledge session, because it will be taken by Paratosh Pathak, our strategic networking coach. All right. Third thing is actually action. So action is simply is to fix H2H for the next 1 week. Like we do, please call each
Amit,
other.
Do we have a couple of more minutes?
Yeah, you take it. It's your.
Yeah. So I wanted to drill deeper into what you shared about the case study between you and Arun and Rajesh. Okay. So H2H, as we say, is heart to heart, right? So I want to know from you, what is it that worked? Okay. And what is it that did not work? And the third question is, what is it that we should be concerned of when we are having these transactions, these conversations? I think that will be more valuable for us. The first piece is, what is it that worked? Okay. Second is, what is it that did not work? And third is, what is it that we should be conscious of? Is when we are having these conversations, what is it that we should be present of at the back of our mind? That is something which will make it more real for each one of us. Right now, it was a story.
Yeah. So I can mention, maybe try to answer its
Maybe you and Rajesh, both of you can share on this. Yeah, please.
Yeah. So what worked, and Rajesh, you can add, is the intent became clear in the beginning itself, because the intent was to help others grow, and there was some connect as such, which was visible even in the first interaction, that hum ek dusre ko help kar sakte hain. And he was open to come to me for help, and I was open to come to him for help, right? That was openness which came. And by the way, when I did the crate session, after the crate session, he was my buddy. So he was a side buddy as such. So that worked well. What did not work well in this case study, I think did not work, but I would say for the introduction, like when I had to introduce Rajesh to Amit Roy, there was no simple format by which I could introduce him. So that took a bit of time. So I had to send a like a 12-page presentation. But what could have been improved as such, I would say, is if there was a simple one-pager or something which gives introduction, would have probably done the things faster. Right.
Awesome.
Rajesh, you want to add?
Yeah, I think that the second part you said is important, because a 12-pager is too long for someone to browse through. And what actually worked, Amit, was the H2H we had, because and that too, personal sitting with you is something which made it work, because I could see your passion, I could see the power you had within you, which probably wouldn't have happened virtually. So I think that personal meeting was a very powerful session we had together, which of course I think in times to come we would probably start doing once we start opening up. Because otherwise, virtual, like you also said, the first virtual we had was more of an introduction to each other, but the second one really got the ball rolling.
Yeah, I think this is one takeaway I'm realizing now, Atul, is Harihar also has to say something. So just one point is that face-to-face meeting has a different impact, than over phone. That is one realization I'm having. When you meet somebody face-to-face, it moves much faster than over Zoom as such. That's my realization. Harihar, yeah, you
Yeah.
say
So one more learning that I got from your boat story, which I would like to share with everyone, which would benefit everyone. And that learning is that when we meet people and when we discuss, there are a lot of things going on the back of your mind, okay, which also came in your story, that क्या हम दोनों काम कर सकते हैं क्या, scope है क्या इसमें. So you have a lot of inhibitions that come in your mind, preconceived inhibitions, okay, which actually can be diffused. But अपना mind already build up कर लेता है कि ये सब होगा, ऐसा होगा, scope नहीं है. So a lot of negativism comes in our mind even before we approach the problem. Unless you bring in complete clarity with complete conviction that it's happening and we are all there to gain from it, then all this negativism that comes in our head or these conceptions, misconceptions come in our mind first. These can be diffused. That's something that I wanted to share, which came in your story.
Yeah, in fact, yeah, that's right, because there was, I could sense not our inhibition. I was thinking from the client angle. उसका भी तो होगा ना.
उसके लिए भी हम सोच रहे हैं. नहीं, मैं क्या बता रहा हूँ, अभी उनके लिए भी हम ही सोच लेते कि ऐसा होगा तो ऐसा होगा.
No, in fact,
this is called as cow. We call it as
what
Marathi cow.
What Amit said was correct, because since I know Arun far more closer, he was not too sure that does he have to engage Amit. Now he says, "आप ही सब कर दो." So I knew Amit could do certain areas far better than me, because he has a more structured, he's already got a structure by which he can do. I have not yet built a module. So I will probably sit with him and do out of my experiential thing of last 42 years. And if he is meeting Amit for, let's say, a 3-month assignment, then he needed something more structured. And after my interaction with Amit, I knew Amit had the tools. So I insisted on Arun. I said, no, Arun, Amit is the one who has to give you the owner connect and your vision, your business clarity. And I insisted, no, you have to take Amit.
In fact, it was also the other way around, because I knew I can coach him, but I cannot train the team, because that's not my expertise. At VSC, I have no clue. The technical part is zero to me, right? So I didn't know how he will take my service, because he's thinking पूरा नहीं मिल रहा.
That's what I wanted.
So with you being there,
यहाँ पे क्या होता है सर, कि जब लोग connect करते हैं, तो when there is connection,
वीरेंद्र जी कितना टाइम है?
जहाँ पे trust है, वहाँ पे business.
We have to move to a create session now. So the one thing but I would like to add. So thank you, Atulji, for giving me that ball. So one thing is very clear. If you break this interaction into 3 pieces, one is the H2H between the 2 members, then the interaction between you and your customer. So what we have seen is whenever you are doing any H2H or a meeting, there is always a question, what is there for me? And if you come out of this question, like what is there for me is something which is stopping you to interact with and keeping your secrets with yourself. So instead of that, you can check in first interaction or maybe a second interaction with the other members that how I can help him or how I can be of any help to him. That is one. Second part can be from the interaction with you and your customer. So if you talk about any reference, then a person who is giving reference know much about that person, right? So for example, if I am giving reference of Amit to someone, so I know Amit well than anybody else in, from my customer's perspective. So in that case, my confidence, my trust on Amit, and my trust with the or my know-how about the customer help me to bridge this gap. So that ownership we as a member needs to take. So here also, instead of thinking that what is there for me, we have to think that what I can do for these two people. Then definitely this bridge can happen, and this will help both the customer as well as the member who you are referring. Obviously, then in between you and the other member, you can always have a clarity as far as the Amit also said that how we both can work and help this client so that your interest is not defeated, so that we are taking the interest of both. So we can design our own parameters, that I will be taking this part, you will be taking this part, whatever revenue is coming we can share. So it is a win-win for both. So these are the three legs which I personally feel whenever I am giving any collaboration or a reference and I am creating a success story like this. Hope it is helping everyone.
Yeah.
Right, great.
Awesome.
चश्मे का फायदा है अतुल जी. so let's
So we'll do
move
the
to,
H2H part. We can fix afterwards. So please
yeah, we
make
can
sure that you
completely,
have
complete
H2H done. Yeah. So
we
afterwards.
can
So
completely
please.
create and then we will move to H2H. Yes, so Hariyarji, all over to you. Please help us to create
Yeah,
the
so I feel
presentation.
that we have come to our very interesting part of our session, that is the create session. For those who are new, I feel Sheetal is new. For Sheetal to understand this, that each and every business here, most of them are solopreneurs, and you do not have that kind of infrastructure with you to actually help overcome challenges that come in your business on a regular basis. Each and every business is dynamic, and the challenge that you face today, the next month you might be a different challenge. What we are here together is to create. We have a create session here, wherein the word create represents challenge, resolution, empathy, trust, and empower and enable. How do we present these businesses? We have a five templates of presentation, where first you present your business, who you are as a person to the group, what kind of business do you represent, and what are your products, features, advantages, and benefits for the consumer. What is the SWOT analysis, your strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats, and what is that one challenge or problem that is there in your business, if addressed by our team here, will help it to be scaled up to the next level. So this will help. So the other members here, so we have 40 years plus experience overall put together. So each and everyone will contribute to the challenge, where we'll try to see and help to overcome this thing. And we'll have a buddy structure in the end of the session, who would help them to implement these in their business. And we'll also have a sharing in the next week, ki kya hua pehle week se. So that's something that we had designed in this manner. So this week we have Mr. Anand Paul, who would be presenting his create session. Over to you, Anand ji. You'll have to unmute, Anand ji. Screen sharing दिया है ना उनको?
Unfortunately, I did not make any presentation as such. Unfortunately, yesterday there was a call from Ronik also. I have no presentation, but I'll just speaking today. Hope you'll allow me to do so.
Well, please proceed. Please proceed.
Last week we had a discussion about the functional mapping. What is functional mapping is very important for mapping any system in SAP or Oracle or any ERP which you are using. So I'll be talking about the functionality which needs to be mapped into the system. The system is one part. There are two parts. One is a front end, another is a back end. Now, whatever we feel in the front end, that is whatever we see by our own eyes or whatever we experience. But at the back end, how we are going to map it. So the back end is a separate language altogether. and front end is what we visually see or what we think or what we look into. Every company wants to have a functional mapping which leads to, now I'll be just interfering or changing my topic a little. Now I'm going to give you a small story. So everybody must be knowing that. And
1 minute, Anand Polji, is this going to be a create session or is it just a knowledge session? Because if it is a create session, it will have a challenge which you want us all to help you to solve.
Actually, it is not going to be a create session because I did not prepare for the create session. Hello?
Okay, so you're not prepared for the create session. I feel Virendra ji, should we go on with the knowledge session? Or Amit?
Actually expecting a create session as per the format. So because the format says that we have to have a create session. So maybe I'll put this to Atulji if you can just.
Yeah. So Anandji, let us, since this time is allocated to you, if you can please share some challenge that you are facing in your business, and we'll be glad to deliberate on that. So you were talking about the functional mapping. That is your core business, right?
Yeah.
So do you intend to build this business further?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So in that, what is the one? What are the three challenges that you're facing right now?
The first and foremost challenge is the participation of the people, those who want to use the system.
Okay.
That is first part of it.
Okay.
In industry, as I said, there are different functionalities.
Yeah.
And the functionality wants their job to be done very easily, or rather indirectly. They don't want to do anything. They want to get everything ready-made.
Okay. Participation, they want to get everything ready-made. What is the third one?
The third one is the manufacturing departments always will be very reluctant to operate the system.
Okay. So now out of these three, participation, get everything ready-made, and reluctant, what is the one key challenge that you face?
The key challenge is the participation of the people.
Awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is the challenge for all of us today.
Haji. Sorry. So in this, few more thing which we expect from Anandji, that what he is doing currently, because otherwise it will be
yes, definitely,
so
yeah.
what he is doing for getting that success. So whatever challenge you are facing, Anandji, in that, what exactly you are doing right now to overcome that challenge, so that we will not repeat that for you. We know that you are already doing it, so
Absolutely.
we will not unnecessarily repeat it. And while doing that, if you are facing, okay, even if I'm doing this and still I'm facing, then what are the challenges again? Maybe you are facing on that.
Most important.
Yeah, one more thing, Anand Polji. Since we stopped you, so while you were just explaining us the functionalities and all that, so we just want 3-4 lines more so that we understand the line of business you are pursuing. So continue with that, where you left, that what is functionality and all that, and what is your contribution, how do you help? So that will help us to analyze, like, how can we contribute to you? Yeah, please do that. And what Virendra ji also said, and then cover that what I am just doing presently to overcome those challenges. So that will complete the entire cycle.
Yeah, so that is one line, that your product, your feature is the benefit to the customer, and what is the strength, weakness, opportunity.
Yes.
Right.
And on top of this, Anandji, a lot of acknowledgement to you. This shows your maturity, that you're talking, stopped in between, 4 people coming and gunning on you, and still you're maintaining your composure. If I were in your place, I would have left it and gone away. So thank you for being so generous. And please carry on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, function, I'll be just giving one small example.
Yeah.
See, we are going to the garden where there are a lot of mango trees. And mango trees, I look by my eyes, It seems to be very fantastic, and I feel eating that mango. So what exactly I do? My hand is going to pick up one mango from the tree. Then what is the next functionality? I'm going to open that mango and I'm going to eat it by my mouth. Then it is going to be swallowed and my stomach is going to do all the activity. So actually, what is the example behind this is how exactly the system back end and front end. Now this is what I have example I have given is a front end. ये मेरे आंखों ने देखा, मेरे को खाने की इच्छा हो गई. I smelled it. It was very fantastic, and I started working something with my hand, and then I ate it. So ये तो मेरे को दिख रहा है कि this is how we have to do it, but how to map it into the system is very difficult. So there are two parties, as I said. One is a man who knows about the process, who wants to explain to the mapper at the back end, that is the software company of SAP or the consultants, I'll say. Then he understands my functionality, my process, because every product is different. Every process is different of manufacturing that product. And then it needs to be understood by the person who is going to map your system at the back end to get the required results. This is the difference between the front end and the back end. Now, the challenges which I face is the participation. People are not showing any interest because they want everything reports. Here, in every condition, every function or the every entry or the every action is hitting the finance part of the organization. Any organization, whether it's a service sector, whether it's a manufacturing sector, or any other sector who is using this, whether it is a hospital even. So it is hitting the finance. It is hitting the business center. So what is the business? What finance person wants is this what amount has already been paid for doing this particular activity of manufacturing or service, and what I am getting back. Owner wants to know how much profit I am getting out of it. And at any point of time, there are, as I said, there are different functionalities. If you start with, there is a function which is called as payable and receivable. These are two main functions. And this payable and receivable, in between, there is a manufacturing section. So we have to coordinate and map all these activities of all these departments to see that at the end of the business, day or month or quarter or half year or year, that the profit is gained by the organization or not. And where the results are not coming, that will help the organization to specifically concentrate on that particular area where the results are not coming. My basic observation during all these many years that the manufacturing department particularly is not much interested, or rather I'll say they're least interested in doing this activity of making the data entry or using the system in an organization, because they feel that their core function is to produce, to process, and not to do these kind of activities into the system, and where everything goes fat. That is a major challenge. So as I said, participation and active requirement of every department, they should understand the system, they should be able to use it, it should be user friendly also, and subsequently, how we'll be able to make manufacturing department to work into the system. So giving training to these people, continuous training, is a basic challenge and where we don't succeed. Thank you.
Yeah, so let us hear from all of us.
So one thing is still missing, Anandji. So what exactly you are doing into overcoming this challenge? Like you are facing a challenge where acceptance is less, and you want people to accept it. So what is that you are taking? What initiatives you are taking to get you more business?
Continuous training and making them aware about the need of the system by the organization.
Okay, but you are getting opportunities for the training?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Anandji, I have one question. Actually, I'm yet to understand what is your value proposition to your client where you are facing challenge to reach or visibility? So what is your, if in one line we can know, what is your value proposition? Basically, what you are trying to sell to your client.
The system is owned by the organization. So they want to install the system to do the business and understand the business profitability, or to bring the streamlining the functionalities into the organization. So it is done by the organization itself, which needs to be streamlined, and where the owner is interested in getting this system in place, because by sitting on his laptop, he will be able to see on his dashboard what is happening in the organization.
Okay, okay, that means it is
Are you
more.
talking in terms of software integration, helping the application developers be an interface, or what? Like, so because there is a challenge when we just talk to the entrepreneurs, they don't know how to do that. So are you a person who fills that gap?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I have also understood.
Yes, that is what was missing.
Yeah. Exactly. And basically, I now understand that you will fall under a category of what we call a digital transformation coach or a digital transformation advisor or consultant. That is what I feel, and which is a new breed of coaches and trainer. So am I correct, Anandji, in understanding?
Yes, some extent, yes, 100%.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Rajesh, please.
Yeah, Anandji, I remember when I was working with the company for 20 years, we tried implementing the SAP and ERP. And normally in SAP and ERP, the coaching is also given by the provider of that software.
True.
So what is the difference? I mean, the software is not going to be yours. It's a licensed software of SAP is the software provider. So what is going to be your role?
See, my role was from the manufacturing project. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, my role was, I was with the organization who wanted to implement the SAP and who wanted to implement the Oracle or Microsoft Navision. So company engaged me as a value champion to coordinate between the company who is going to implement the system or launch the system and the people, those who are working on the shop floor or on the company. I was a coordinator between these two teams. One is a manufacturing team and one is a person who is going to implement or launch the system in the organization.
Okay, so ideally, what kind of companies, because I remember when this SAP provider came to us, we said our kind of business, they tried building some module and we said, I don't think it answers our issues, because, we wanted a different kind of system. And for our kind of HVAC air conditioning industry, they had never done it before. So then they'd done more for, more for consumer good industry, etc. But for our kind of industry, they didn't have any, relevant example to give us. So we gave up the idea.
Okay, but actually my basic experience is in the automobile industry, automobile parts industry, like bearings and other auto components.
Okay.
And then I was working with Bajaj Auto also, as I said, for 3.5 years or so. Then Bajaj Auto did not get a proper solution from they hired the people from the software industry and
I feel a lot of your distortion hai, internet.
Hello.
You can switch off that video, please.
अब क्लियर है।
आनंद जी आप अपना वीडियो ऑफ कर दीजिए, शायद नेटवर्क का कुछ इशू है, आवाज नहीं आ पा रही बराबर।
Is it clear now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. So I was and I was coordinating the activity with the functionalities and with the SAP company or Oracle company.
Okay. Yeah, get your role now very clearly.
Okay. Now we also have Amit Chawla who wants to, I feel, give his inputs. Amit Chawla ji.
Yeah. So Anand Polji, so what I would say, my understanding is that you have this manufacturing plant, manufacturing people who are working, and you want them to use the system properly, and they are not participating as such.
Correct.
So my take is that, and you are doing trainings and all that is happening, but that doesn't help. Okay. So this issue I've seen is because they are employees of the company, right? And employees will work only and only if they see there is what is in for them. That means what is in them for them is actually looking for career growth. You go to work with, talk to any employee, they just want career growth. कि उनका salary बढ़ जाए, उनका increment हो जाए, and they get promotion and they go up the ladder, right? So that's their driving force. So until and unless you pick that piece through your training and bring that out, they will not come out. For example, if you tell them, okay, if you go for this training and understand this part, there is a potential for you to get promoted, go to the next level in the hierarchy itself. Because if you're going to become let's say a plant head or a manufacturing head, then the part that you are going to cover as such is very, very essential. Otherwise, you will not be able to grow, right? And that would help them as such. Plus, second thing is, it's a subtle thing which can be brought in, is even growth, career growth externally. It will look good also in their CV that they have gone for this training and to enhance their skill. If they go out of the company, they can get a job somewhere else. But obviously, the training cannot tell that. But this is
that will be additional qualification for that.
Yeah, so that part you have to probably bring that out, that through these trainings and what you are teaching and them, it will also enhance their CV, which will promote them in the company or outside the company as well. And then there'll be a driving force. They will probably come and understand and try to bring that out. And there has to be something, if somebody is doing well, you need to have some kind of a reward mechanism that who has done well after 6 months, 12 months. Organization has to actually give them some reward for that. That will get them going.
Yeah? So that will boost the others' mentality also.
Exactly. That so, and also when you're training, if you're training, let's say 30, 50 people, don't expect 30, 50 people will understand anything. They will be probably 80%, 90% will be followers. So you need to figure out who are the leaders there. Maybe there are out of 30, only 2 or 3 will pick up the thing and then become your, what I call a change catalyst.
So what you said is right, because everywhere, from every department, we used to have one leader who was getting a training first, and we used to make him understand the total system, and then he should explain to the other colleagues in the organization.
Yeah. So one is finding in the hierarchy who's the leader. You can train them, but also very important, underneath there are employees you will find who are how to call as change catalyst. वो क्या करते हैं, कुछ लोग होंगे जो बहुत बातें करेंगे, right? They'll go and talk to other people, 30, 50 people over a coffee or something, and then बोलेंगे हाँ कंपनी में ये अच्छा चल रहा है, ये बेकार चल रहा है. They will set the tone, right? If you catch hold of them and make them change, or in your side, then you'll see suddenly the message is spreading out. That so you find that those set of people may not be the leaders in the company as of now, but they could be a change catalyst spread out, small places. जो ना rumors फैलाते हैं, जो अच्छी चीजें फैलाते हैं, बुरी चीजें फैलाते हैं. So you catch hold of them and train them.
See, what happens normally, I mean, is that whenever we are working in a normal condition.
Anand, my small request is that we are running out of time and we have more people to give you inputs. So my request is that first take the inputs from everyone. If you start getting into an engagement of discussion, This will go nowhere. So I would
Okay.
say you please, each and everyone is here to contribute in your life. Please do a one-to-one with them.
Okay.
Get to understand more from them on what they want to give. Because this few minutes that we get here is not sufficient to give you complete in-depth guidance.
Okay.
So my
Thank you.
advice is to get into in-depth one-to-one with Amit ji. Has got a lot of things to guide you on this. So we have
Sure.
other members to also help you in this. Rajesh Pandit, over to you. Please try to be brief so that we have others who can also chip in.
Yeah, I will like to have a one-to-one with Anand Polji, because I need to understand, like, so when we're just talking about the implementation, are we talking about the implementation from the company, or the challenges like you already have got the order and now, so it is very difficult for you to just engage the people over there. So is it like acceptable, like on a company, so they are accepting it, but then so it is not acceptable at the lower level. So I'll have a one-to-one to understand it more, so
Sure.
that I can just put my mind and see that. So it is a very interesting, and I know that, so there is a gap to be filled up. So we have a lot of challenge talking directly to the entrepreneurs who don't have an insight about how the system works and all that. So I'll have a one-to-one with him to understand it more. Thank you.
Sure. Sure.
Over to
Thank
you,
you.
Virendra Ingle.
So आनंद जी इसको हम थोड़ा इस तरीके से समझते हैं. So first thing is the SAP company or the company, parent company, who is offering their product to the company, the other company, the customer company. Now take an example of Rajesh ji, where he was refusing because he is not finding value for that product in their systems. So definitely this SAP company was facing challenge of convincing Rajesh ji on how this product can be helpful to you. So you can be a influencer, because in the sales system there is something called diaper, right? So where a decision maker influencers are involved. So you can be an influencer or a person who is helping companies to complete that sale. So you can approach companies, build a collaboration, or become a member as a maybe an influencer or implementer for them, and you can then approach to the company. It will help you for building revenue. So you're getting revenue from the companies as well. Second thing is, when you're talking about trainings and other things, so once you can also get the list of companies where the companies are already placed order or in a discussion with them, where you can talk to companies and say, okay, I can go and influence because I know the industry perspective and I can make it happen for you. So that is something which you can try. From a company's perspective, you can approach them and tell them, okay, you are planning for SAP. I can help you to derive what are the actual needs, so that we can get the right product and solution from SAP or any solution provider. So you can act actually a bridge, but you have to talk to both the parties, because by conducting training you can create an awareness, but you cannot close the deals. To close the deals, definitely you need to influence, act as a actual catalyst between the company and the user, the seller and the user, right? So if you know what all products and services you can talk about, go and talk to the sales team, because they are into tremendous pressure of completing their sales. Talk to them that I can help you, provided I get this. So like I'm doing for Tally, so हमारे Tally में channel partner क्या करता है? He go there and Tally is not going personally, but in your case the SAP person are going directly. So you can talk to them that I can help you to complete this sale by my influence into that company, right? So you have to talk to both the parties and get your deals, right.
I feel you can get into more on one-to-one with Virendra Ingle. He will be there to help you with the inputs. Now, my last, I feel no one else, so I will try to also give my few inputs. So one is Anandji, that well said that you have a product which you feel is going to. Oh, Amit, Atul Puri is there before I. Yeah, Atul Puri. Yes. Speak.
Thank you. So Anandji, my couple of cents is that this is a purely human angle. Okay, you are dealing with human beings, and considering that you're talking about manufacturing environment, the people we are dealing with are so-called blue-collar people. All right. Now these are what I would call as headless soldiers. Okay, people who are not generally known by their names. So they are people who are not generally seen. Since they are not seen, their mental status is also like, mental setup is also like that, that nobody gives value to them. The moment we start giving value to them, you are important. The job that you are doing is key to the organization. You are somebody who drives the organization further. Till the time this sets into that person's understanding, he will not be willing to open up. So first stage is to open those gates, then to have take him through that journey, that what you are going to do is going to impact the organization for next 10 years, 50 years, 5 years. And then once he starts seeing that what I'm going to do is something crucial for the organization, that is when he will see that value. And then add those rewards and recognition and visibility, everything to that. I think that is how the game would move.
Sure.
Just understand, I won't say understand, just observe that we have had so many create sessions in inner circle. In your case, just to arrive at what is it that you do, all of us are pretty learned people, and we were still not able to understand what is it that you do, right? Think of that person who deals with a machine every day. He works with chilled iron rod 8 hours in a day. He has also become a piece of steel. He is not a human being anymore. So we have to remove that human being first. I hope this is valuable for you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, also I would like to give a few inputs in addition to all these speakers have given. So मेरा inputs आपके लिए ये है कि sir, you have a product which you feel is necessary for the masses, okay, but वहां से उनको अभी तक need नहीं हुआ. I mean, they don't feel that they need this. They may need it, but they still not realize that they need it. तो ये आपको लग रहा है कि burning need है. There's a problem in the market which, and this problem can be addressed by you. So there are two or three things that I would like that you do. One is that you create small video clips of video on this product that you have. Do 1 minute videos, 2 minute videos, 5 minute videos, but every week keep posting 3 or 4 videos on a YouTube channel continuously for the next 365 days. So this will bring in a subscriber base. People will start understanding what are you doing. People will want to connect with you. So it will become a pull product than a push product, number one. Number two is always catch people young. That is the mantra. That is, there is an industry which needs people ready-made, जो चाहिए, और college बनाते रहता है बच्चे लोगों को तैयार BE करके, which are not industry ready. Okay. So this is the gap between the industry and the colleges that manufacture these kits. So in the last year of engineering students, you please look into how you could add value to the kids' knowledge on practical knowledge of yours. So with the industry connect you have with the industries, you are a very good industry connect. That is your strength. You can also connect with the colleges and see how you can start having sessions for the students. And who will then, once they go through your sessions, would become an added value to the industry. For that, you please connect with me. I'll give you a complete detailed commercial, how it can become a commercial viable venture. I'll give you a complete detail on that. Number three is please create a platform. Okay, I'll tell you what plan. You alone cannot accomplish everything across India. So you need a platform to actually be created who are having similar views like you. For example is Rajesh Budhraja that we have here in the air conditioning industry has created a revolution. Okay. So similarly, you need to replicate that model in your industry. Okay. How you can bring industry experts with you and how you can scale it up pan-India. Otherwise, it will be like just you're in Aurangabad or some small location. You will not be pan-India. So if you want to be pan-India, you need to look at much beyond that, beyond what you're doing today. And also you need to see that how you can hand over this, what is the life of this product. इसका next generation कौन लेगा, कैसा चलेगा, कब तक आप करोगे, और इसके बाद कैसे auto mode में जाएगा. So that you will be connecting with Virendra, so he will be ready to help you with autopiloting that entire business model once created. So I feel you need to connect with each one of us for greater depth, because in these few minutes we will not be able to give you in-depth knowledge on what we actually wanted to convey to you. So I will connect with everyone, write down the names, do one-to-one H2H with everyone, and each and everyone will be there here to stand in your growth. So with this, I request anyone from this forum who would like to actually be his buddy structure for the next week.
Thank you.
Hand, anyone could raise a hand. Okay, Virendra English will be a buddy, okay, for the week, and he will help you in trying to implement it. I would also request you to fix up appointments with everyone who actually wanted to contribute in your course.
Sure,
Okay,
sure. Thank you very much.
over to you, Virendra.
Yes, so thank you everyone. So we don't have any guest also because I think she has left for the day from the meeting. So we will also take a leave, and because we have some 5 minutes or not, we don't have a time as such. But we are now in a process of finalizing our next leadership team. So we are looking for a president.
We can discuss